Mother Knows Death, starring Nicole and Jemmy and Maria QK.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Mother Knows Death. On today's episode, we're going to talk about January Jones and Misophonia, a paramedic who decided to be a disgusting pig and throw away his entire career to make some extra money. In keeping up with the holiday season, we're going to talk about a Santa Claus who was arrested for child porn and the dangers of shoveling snow. And then we'll finish off the episode with a family who thought their dad had abandoned them only to find his dead body years later in their basement. All that and more on today's episode. Let's get started with January Jones.
All right, January Jones, aka Betty Draper from Mad Men, has revealed she's been dealing with a lifelong condition called misophonia, and I think you have this too.
I do. I was reading this and I was like, I have this 100%. As I was writing up our notes for today's episode, actually, they were outside doing my cleanup for the fall, the winter cleanup, getting, the leaves and everything. And the blower is triggering to me. It gives me so much anxiety. I can't. It's probably my number one trigger. What else does? That freaking ASMR bullshit that the kids watch on YouTube. When people speak softly and it's very crisp, it makes me feel it gives me it's funny because it makes me angry. And then I'm reading this and I'm like, oh, okay, that's a thing.
So this condition causes someone to feel extreme discomfort, anxiety, or disgust after hearing certain noises. And when I read that, I immediately thought of when we were driving to see Hamilton and Mama put a video on her phone and you freaked out on her.
That's another one that's triggering to me is when people are listening to their phones. Or in public, if you're on your phone in public, I don't care if someone has a phone up to their ear and they're talking on the phone when it's on speakerphone. It's so triggering to me. The speakerphone, the loud talking, just all of it. It just pisses me off so bad. It puts me from 0 to 100 in a second. And my mother, yes, we're in the car and she's listening. She has TikTok on and is scrolling through those videos like that. I don't know if I get mad because I think it's just so rude. It's when we were, I was with Andrea at the diner, at the Silver Diner, right? And some person that was sitting behind me was on the phone, on the speakerphone, like an old person. And it's right behind my ear. And I can't even focus on anything else. I'm just so mad. And I don't know if it's the actual noise or is it just dude, you're so rude.
You know what my problem is? I wonder if it falls under the category of this. I get triggered like that noise-wise when I hear two noises at once and I can't focus. When I'm on the phone with Mom and Pop Up and the dog's barking in the background.
Oh my God, that fucking dog. Or I can't stand that dog.
When I'm watching TV and my husband decides to watch Reels on full blast and I'm like, hello, I'm watching a television show and trying to pay attention to what they're saying. Or when you have music on in a car that loudly and somebody starts talking to you and I feel like my brain short circuits and I can't figure out which one to focus on.
Yeah. Or going to a bar or going out to dinner in general when it's too loud. I can't deal with it.
Oh, yeah, totally. But yeah, you 100% have this problem because I think there's a level of annoyance, but it really trips you up and will ruin your entire day.
But my mom got so salty when I yelled at her. And I was just like, ugh. And I'm like, I'm the one that's wrong. We're in a car having conversation with people and it's quiet and there's 6 of us. Nobody wants to listen to that. You listening to TikTok videos.
I'm going to get a text after this that says humper. Like I do pretty much every other day when she listens. But yeah, January Jones says she's been dealing with this for a long time and it's serious because, as you should be able to tell, it could drive you really crazy. And she has a brother-in-law who she says is a really great person, but he doesn't take it seriously and eats chips very loudly around her, which triggers her. So, I don't know. I could totally, knowing you, I can now see this is a real thing.
It happens because the kids probably will agree that if we're sitting there and Lillian will turn on one of those videos, I want to pick up the phone and throw it across the room.
That's not
the iPad. No, I'm serious. Like
it's not a normal response.
it makes me like it just pisses me off so bad. Like I can't explain it. Like she'll be like, "Okay, sorry," and I'm like, "I've told you 1,000 times." Is there one for smells too? Because I get triggered by smells too. Like when my kid comes downstairs and puts 20 sprays of this Sol de Janeiro crap on her, and like it triggers me. It pisses me off so bad.
No, they really over perfume themselves, and it's disgusting.
And then I'm just like, listen, guys, I'll do anything for you, whatever. Just like I have a few rules. One of them is like, I don't want to hear that ASMR stuff. I don't want to smell. One spray is fine, and then it's just like the 20 sprays, like all of it. And then I get pissed off that I have to smell it the whole entire car ride and stuff. Like, I just get triggered.
Okay. All right, so a Baltimore paramedic is under investigation after he allegedly posted videos masturbating on supplies and his coworkers' food.
Listen, this shit is so messed up. So I want to look on my computer really quick because I don't know if did you see the one. I don't know if you saw this one article, this one that I came across, right? But it's from a fire law blog.
Okay.
Can't even believe
Seems
there's a whole
legit.
entire law a website for fire law. But there's actual screenshots from his OnlyFans page. This is what it was. It was an OnlyFans page.
Okay, that's what I was wondering where he was posting them.
And his dick pics are blurred out, thank God. Although I could see enough of his arm that I could see that he has visible tattoos. Fucking idiot.
Yeah,
why would you,
number one identifier?
It's literally an identifier. I could see the floor that looks like a classic floor that you would see in a firehouse. Like, you're just a moron. And then and I don't know who found out about this, but somebody obviously found out about it and reported it.
That was my next question.
All of the pictures are labeled underneath, and one says coworker toothpaste vandalism. The other one says pissing in family marinade, pissing in my coworker's soda, pissing in my room on my roommate's toothbrush, cleaning my ass with my roommate's toothbrush, sucking and rubbing coworker's chapstick on my dick. Or sounding. So that means he's sticking it in his pee hole. Pissing in coworkers' dressing. Something with the gym shampoo. Urinating in my wife's mouth. These are all videos, which I can't click on because they're just screenshots, unfortunately, because I kind of want to see them, to be honest. But
well, I will say he posted the videos and he did delete them, but as we know, the internet
he's
is
so nice.
Well, the internet's forever, so of course some online sleuth working for one of these news outlets was able to find them very easily. And the question I had earlier was, who did discover this? Was it a subscriber of his OnlyFans that thought he took it too far, or did somebody at work just happen to stumble upon this? Because how did they possibly put two and two together?
I feel like I read on here. I couldn't figure out, but they didn't name the person, which annoys me. I mean, I know that you could quickly figure out who it is because of his tattoo, obviously.
But why protect their identity?
Yeah, and I think this is Baltimore County, and they're different than Baltimore City because we do know a couple Baltimore City guys. So I don't know if they would know anything about this. Oh, here it is. It says, reported allegations surfaced after an anonymous complaint was submitted to the county. The materials provided the department included videos posted by the paramedic to an OnlyFans account. Yeah. So it was anonymous to the county, so that could have really been anyone. But this is embarrassing for the fire department as well as just like this person. And listen, like he was probably like, because this is so kind of weird. I don't know like what the typical content on OnlyFans is, but I'm assuming it's probably more.
Well, there's a kink for everyone.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, this isn't like a traditional porn thing and people get off on this shit. So I'm assuming that that's like he was probably making pretty decent money on there. I can't really tell if the videos don't say like how many views there are and stuff. So I don't really know if he was getting any play on there. But I mean, like, this is just complete, you want to think the best of people.
Well, you want to trust somebody that's there to try to save your life.
Could you imagine, like, thinking that someone was, like, sticking your chapstick in their penis hole? Like,
no.
Really, like, and like sticking your toothbrush on their asshole?
Listen, I'm thinking about this.
It's just like this is not a one-off, unfortunately, and now this person's making video for people to get off on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking about, like, at the bar, for example, like, we used to leave our purses in the basement near the office, right? But, like, I wasn't in the basement. So I was upstairs the entire time. So to think that somebody else could just go in my bag and do something like that really quickly is disturbing. And then when you add it on to this type of job in particular, like, think of Gabe. Like, they have their own bedrooms and stuff there where they're sleeping. These people have some sort of, like, mini apartment going on there. They live there part of the time. So to think that he's going into their private space and taking their personal items and violating them like that, and it's just absolutely disgusting.
Well, I mean, it's happened. People have people steal stuff, and I mean, it's unfortunate, but this is just like a whole other level of it. Just and then they're saying that they're going to sanitize all the firehouses and this and that, and you're just like, yeah, but it's a sexual violation, honestly. Like, even though you're not physically being assaulted, masturbating on stuff like that, it's just so gross. It's when you know what I mean? It's just terrible.
And it said it's not clear if any of these people actually ingested his bodily fluids. So, like, they don't know for sure whether they did or not. And, like, this reminds me of these stories we're always talking about, like, people, like, dead bodies being violated, right? Sexually assaulted. Like, it's one of those things, like, you just don't want to even know happened to you or a loved one.
Yeah, I would not want to know this at all.
No. Because if you don't even have an answer with certainty, like, they don't know if anybody ingested.
I just can't even imagine, because, I go to the firehouse all the time, so I can't imagine just, like, the guys looking at these pictures and knowing it was one of their coworkers, like, standing over their bed with the floor in the background and stuff with their dick out on their stuff. Like, it's so gross.
It's absolutely disgusting. And I don't know why they're concealing the identity of this person. Like, if he actually did this stuff, expose him. Why are we protecting him? He should be embarrassed.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe somebody will, because somebody's definitely going to recognize his tattoo for sure.
All right, well, in other predator news, a Santa Claus was arrested for child pornography and endangering the welfare of a child. Even worse, he was a retired elementary school teacher, so that's just awesome.
The older I'm getting, and the more we talk about this stuff, the more I'm like, I'm just kind of like not into the whole Santa thing. Like, we do it still once a year, and I used to do it more often, and it's just getting like, it just makes me think bad thoughts all the time, and I don't want to be like that with everyone.
Well, we had a conversation on a previous episode about, is it weird that people play Santa and want to be around kids, right? And we know somebody that's a Santa that's a genuinely great person, and it's a job in retirement for him, right? But there are people like this that are predators, and I think it speaks to what Nancy Grace says it, like, if somebody's more interested in your kids than you, it's like a big problem.
Yeah, I mean, for one thing, it's like, I mean, it's a good gig for a retired person, especially if you look like Santa.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of like, okay, you just have to sit at the mall for 6 hours and get paid like a decent amount just to sit there and like, and some people, like, I want to believe in my heart that some people want to just, like, they like to make kids happy, like that, because kids, especially with Santa's like the ultimate for some kid. I mean, if you practice this particular not even religion, but just tradition around this time of year, kids get a certain, like, it's like a Disney World thing. It's just like they get so excited because they know that they're getting a lot of toys from this person and he's magical and this and that. And like to see a kid get excited about Santa is special. Like you've had it, I had it with you, I had it with the two little ones. Lucia still believes, I think. I don't she can't.
You have to tell her. She's getting way too old.
I will. I don't want to. She's like my baby. Anyway, it's just like to think that someone would prey on that is just so sad to me. And you hear it from time to time that it's just, especially around this time of year, so many people are waiting in line and doing this and that. And I think that the more that every single year that goes on, the more and more people are starting to be like, maybe this isn't a great idea. Like, you know, people don't leave their kids alone with adults anymore like they used to and stuff just because things happen.
Well, it's a really ideal situation for a predator because, I mean, you're not only around children all the time, but then they're sitting on their lap. So it's like, even though people are watching you, it's not like stuff still can't happen. And it's really disturbing to think this guy was an elementary school teacher, too, because clearly I don't think, what was he, 64 years old? I don't think he's just a predator all of a sudden. So, like, what's he been doing this whole time before he got caught? So the police are saying that they got alerted to his internet activity, which I'm assuming is the porn, last Thursday, and then they executed a search warrant immediately on his home because of his exposure to children. And then they found that he had filmed a video of a child and sent it to, they said, either himself or somebody else. So clearly it's not even just engaging with the activity online, but he's around children all the time, and he had an actual victim too that they know of. So this is really disturbing. Of course, this wasn't very far from us in Hamilton, New Jersey, right? So that's even more disturbing to think about. And I'm just happy that they took the claim seriously and they got him pretty quick.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, and he was a teacher, so there might be a lot of victims. I mean, there certainly is I don't want to say, but like people that are looking at it on the computer versus people that like, you know, are making the films and doing the act. It's like if he's done it once, there's a high probability, and how he's old, right? So like how he's probably been doing it. This is like not his first rodeo, you know?
That's exactly what I'm saying. Because if you want to look at it similarly to a DUI, it's like, what do they say? People drive drunk 80 times before they're caught.
Yeah.
So like,
exactly.
What was he doing before?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just scary, and you don't know. Like, if you really sit there and think about it, if Christmas wasn't happening, would you ever just like let your kid go sit on a man's lap?
No.
Like, no. And then you're like, oh, but put the costume on him, and now all of a sudden it's like, well, that's Santa. Like, it's just, I don't know. And I'm like, I'm a very Christmassy person, so I hate to even say that, but like, it's just, the thought of it is just like more and more. I'm not into it.
I mean, going forward, like, do we have to keep putting the kids on his lap? Like, why can't they just be, like, standing next to him? What's the difference?
They did that. My kids, I've been having my kids do that. Like, if they, like, the one that we take them to has, like, a couch, actually. It's not, like, a chair.
Yeah.
And they could sit on the edges, and then they could stand behind, like, because I always go with Laura and her kids.
Yeah.
And it's just, like nothing will happen because we're there and it's 5 seconds, but it's more just like the feeling of, even if they were thinking something, that you don't want them to like use your child for that. That's disgusting, you know?
Well, let's say it's like a non-creepy person too. Why would you even want to be in the position for somebody to possibly call you out about it?
I don't know. There was another video that was going viral last week about a mom that was yelling at a Santa because I guess the little girl sat down on Santa's lap and he was just like, what are you going to ask for? Are you asking for a boyfriend for Christmas or something? And like, sometimes I feel like adults like to joke with kids. So like a part of me's just kind of like, okay, like that, it's funny because like they wouldn't ask for that. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? And the mom was just like, why are you asking my daughter if she wants a boyfriend? She's 6 or whatever. You know what I mean? And like, she was like, calling the guy out and just being like, that's weird and inappropriate. Like, she wants toys. She doesn't want a boyfriend. Like,
Yeah, I have conflicted feelings about that because, you know, it is funny when, like, two toddlers are at daycare and they are friends and you're like, oh, it's your little
or if
boyfriend.
you just say to
you know,
a kid,
but-
like, do you want a car? Like, you just say, like, a funny thing, like, something that they definitely couldn't have because they're just little. Like, it probably, I want to think, like, I'm just naive. I want to think that things are innocent, but then if you think of somebody being a pervert, like, that and them asking that, then that's weird. You know
Well,
what I mean? So I get why
exactly.
she freaked out.
Because there's so many people saying it innocently, but then there are predators that are
Yeah.
saying it
And
seriously.
she might have been a victim of sexual abuse herself. And that triggers people, you know, because people are like, they understand how it happens and it's scary, you know?
Totally. This episode is brought to you by The Gross Room.
Guys, this is our last sale of the year and it ends tomorrow on Friday, December 12th. So you want to make sure that you get in because you can get a whole entire year of gross for only $20. That is 6 years worth of posts, videos, ads, thousands of them in there that will keep you entertained for, honestly, for months if you really want to read through it. And we're adding new stuff every single day too. We're definitely going to be getting into the Brian Walsh case at some point this month. And we also have high profile death dissections and celebrity death dissections whenever new things are coming up. And, well, we haven't had a celebrity in a while, so we've been covering some high profile cases in there. But this week we thought it would be a little fun to do one with freak accidents that happen around the holiday times. Couple including Santa. Not crimes this time. We're just talking about freak accidents. But yeah, so check that out in the Gross Room.
Head over to thegrossroom.com now to sign up.
Every single year when it snows, well, almost every year, because it doesn't snow every year. It's definitely snowing this year. I predict it. It's been way too cold already. This is like February temperatures. I feel like we're going to have a nasty, like, winter.
A nasty
winter.
Side note, did you see the Farmer's Almanac is about to be no more? Isn't that still considered the most accurate weather predictor?
I don't know. Is
I don't
any
know.
of it accurate? Like,
Just all good things
But-
are going away.
yeah. I don't know about that, but so whenever it snows, it never fails that, you know, of course, it'll be a day that Gabe's at work because that's one of, I don't have many, but that's one of the things that I'm like, that's not my job.
Oh, totally. I'm always like, I do the taxes, you do the outside. this is not my
And
problem.
Yeah. I do like I'll mow the lawn. I'll do anything. I just like, I don't like to be cold. I just don't. And Gabe's just so good at it. So why would I do it? Because he's so good at it. But of course, it always snows bad when it's his day. So I'll go out there because I don't want it to ice up and do it. And I'm whatever. I guess I'm starting to get to the age where there's concern. But when Gabe is at home, he's like such a good guy. Like he'll go to all of the older neighbors' houses and do their driveways and everything like that. But Bill, who lives across the street, he's like a stubborn old person and he insists on doing it himself. And I'm like, dude, you're 80 years old. He doesn't work out on a regular basis. And I'm like, you are a prime target for a sudden cardiac death.
Bill's
Please
80?
don't. Bill, yeah.
He doesn't seem
He's
like
the same
he's
age as
80.
Pop.
Wow.
And I'm just like, dude, and I'm like, dude, don't you go dying on me now. Like, don't die right now. This happens. And he's like, I'm fine. And I'm like, everyone thinks they're fine. This is like a weird, it's just a very unique way of exercising because you're using all the muscles in your upper body and your lower body's not moving. So your blood's like not circulating correctly. And it might take a longer time for the blood to get back to your heart. And you're older, your vessels aren't as good, you don't work out like that, and all of a sudden, like, boom, heart attack. It's like a thing. It's a thing.
Thank God you're about to have a grandson because we'll stick him on.
Yeah. Do you think any kids? It's so bizarre because the girls on our block were go around and they were the past couple years have been like, can we shovel? Because I'm like, you guys can make so much money right now if you go to all these people's houses and just say, I'll do your driveway.
There
whatever.
are kids in my neighborhood that come around when it snows, and they also do leaves and everything.
It's not the same as it used to be, though.
No, it's unheard of.
And my grandson's not going to be of age for like 10 years. And by then, it'll be like he's not even going to want to do it anyway.
Well, in this article, they're saying some experts are saying you shouldn't shovel snow over 65. So if that's the case, I think you'll be in a good place because Gabe's only 50. But other experts are saying you shouldn't do it over 45.
I know. Gabe will do it until the very end because he just that's just how he is. But they did I guess they were saying the American Journal of American Medicine said between the years of 1990 and 2006, 200,000 adults were treated for injuries from shoveling snow, and there were more than 1,600 deaths, 65 and older. Now, that's the thing, when you see all of those injuries, it's like people get injured all the time, but you think about to the point where you have to go to the emergency room, so they're getting injured pretty bad. But a lot of it is cardiac stuff. And so there's a direct correlation because they're saying that you're exerting more energy than like if you were doing a cardiac stress test. So just think about what you do on a treadmill, right? If you just had a person, like even me, because I don't work out like that, right? If you just told me to go run on the treadmill for 15 minutes, like I'm going to drop dead. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
I understand.
So like, and now put you at 80 years old. Like it's just not a good idea. It's a lot. The heavy snow, like, sometimes it's like that very heavy snow that's not that fluffy kind. So I try to yell at the neighbors, like I'll even pay to get it done if there's no one to do it or if I can't do it. But I certainly don't want. I feel like we always say we need like a shed on our block for things like a snowblower that could be stored in the neighborhood shed that could be used.
My neighbor has a mini snow plow that it's like a full vehicle he gets in, but he only does his sidewalk. He doesn't care about everybody else.
Yeah, that's not cool. So a couple of our neighbors have things like that over the years that have been helping out with that because come on. If you have a snowblower, it's pretty easy to use. Like
it's not a blower. Like he has a full snow plow that he gets.
And he doesn't do yours?
No.
That's so douchey.
He is older. So he's older. So I get it, but it's not even a snowblower. It's a full-blown vehicle he sits in and it's like a full-blown snowplow.
I don't get it. That's just because you're old doesn't mean that you give listen, speaking about Bill, my old neighbor that lives across the street, he takes in my trash cans almost every single week. He races me out there to get them. I bear the ratio of how often I do it for them versus or Gabe, whoever's home in the morning. He does it and he's 80. That's just a manners thing. If you could do it and you have time, you should do stuff for your neighbor like that.
I don't know. They're just not
love thy neighbor. But anyway, yeah. And so then it's you use the snowblower and then you got the problem with people cutting their fingertips off. Just a lot of drama this time of year.
Just what are you supposed to do about the snow?
Don't take it out of the snowblower when it's clogged without making sure that it's turned off first. It's just like a lawnmower.
All right, back in the 60s, this 30-year-old father suddenly disappeared, and his wife used the good old "he went out for cigarettes and never came back" excuse with the kids. So decades later, this guy's grandchildren are digging in the basement of their family home and end up finding his skeletal remains.
Yeah, and the reason that they were digging in the basement is because some psychic medium person told them to do it.
Was it Sylvia Brown?
Yeah.
She would have been like, that's not how he died.
He bled to death.
Maybe she came up with the cigarettes excuse, and that's why the mom was going with. So this is
terrible for these people.
No, it's terrible.
Imagine thinking that your dad left you your whole life only to find out that he's been dead in your basement your whole life. And so the mom's dead too. They have no answers. And the kids are this is what where the story gets weird to me. The kids think that the mom has nothing to do with it.
Yeah, so this is the weird backstory behind it. So they had a live-in handyman during this time who was helping.
My God. This sounds like Vincenzo. Do you ever hear the stories about Vincenzo in our family?
No.
He's like some Italian fisherman that used to come and stay at one of our aunt's houses, and everybody was like, "Oh, she's pretty much banging him," and they were like,
anything
"No."
about Vincenzo.
Oh, ask Mom. It's a good story.
All right, I have to call her later, so I'll see what she has to
It's
say.
great. It's a great story.
Okay, so they had this live-in handyman during this time who was helping the dad with a construction project. So then shortly after the husband disappears, or as she says, abandons them, she marries the handyman, but they do end up getting divorced, which was a relief to the kids because they said the guy was a total piece of shit. He was physically abusing them, sexually assaulting the girls, seemed terrible all around. So the mom ends up dying in 1998. Never said what happened. She never filed a missing persons report or anything, which I just think is also suspicious. And then there was a theory going around that he reunited with a woman he met while he was serving in the Korean War and raised a family with this mysterious woman that was totally made up. So then the mom dies in 1998. By 2010, one of the family members finally is like, I think we should go see a psychic just to get any insight. This psychic literally says, no, he didn't leave you for cigarettes. He's buried in your basement. So they still have this house in their family. And then they end up looking in this very specific area, the psychic said, and they did find his skeletal remains.
They found bones, and they called the police, and they said, yeah, that's a pelvis. That's a human pelvis.
It's so outrageous. So,
dude, how do people live?
Exactly.
You had a handyman living in, like, and then you're just like, he just went for cigarettes. I'm not going to report him missing.
But the kids are saying they don't think the mom was involved. So it's like, are they trying to say the handyman killed the dad, buried him without the mom knowing, and then was just like, oh yeah, he left and never came back? But she never filed him. Like, I would just never accept that answer.
And also, like, they dug a hole in the basement. It's not even really, it's so superficial. He would have smelled so strong in that house for a while as he was decomposing until he did decompose completely.
Yeah,
now it looked like this. It's skeletonized, right? It was 55 years ago or something.
I think 63 is when he went out for cigarettes, and then
his
2018 is when they found him.
So it smelled down there for quite a while until this process went through. So that's number one, that you're like, okay, so nobody noticed that it smelled in the basement really, really bad for a while, right? And then she didn't report him missing. Come on.
And
I think the kids are so traumatized. I mean, really, like, I've heard stories of fathers, like, just like leaving and going to get cigarettes and that coming back, that I can't imagine how traumatizing that is to a child.
Well, especially because your whole life, I mean, these people are older. They're like in their 60s now.
Yeah, but that's like that has to be like a sore spot. That's because
no, I'm saying you think your whole life you have this deadbeat dad who didn't want anything to do with you, but he was actually just murdered and buried in your house. And it's also the disturbing fact that you're living with a murdered person buried in your basement your entire life.
Like, I just think about this about kids and stuff. Just like, if your parent doesn't want you like that, like that they're enough to be like, yeah, I don't care if I ever see them again. How do you grow up to like have a normal adult relationship?
Yeah, but you could say that
like,
about
trust.
Anybody that's adopted.
No, I know. I'm just saying though, like, no, because that's like, I just think that's like a little bit of a different story, because sometimes people have to give up someone for adoption because they physically like can't take care of the person. It's just like, you're like, if you have a person that's living at your house with you, a parent that just gets up and is like, yeah, fuck this, I'm out of here, and never cares to see you again. I don't know, like, how you don't have issues with that.
Listen,
like, adopted kids are I feel like it's just different because, like, sometimes they're adopted when they're like little babies and they just don't even know the difference that their parent is always like their parent or the one that adopted them. They don't even know that feeling because they have someone that is there for them, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you could say either way, because the stereotypical adoption case we think of is like a baby getting adopted that never knew their parents, but there certainly are older kids it happens to too. And of course, deaths happen and everything. But yeah, I see what you're saying. Like, you're living with this person, because some of the kids were, I think, up to 10 years old. So you're living with this person who's acting like your dad for a decade, and then all of a sudden you think they just walked out on you, and that's traumatizing. And then you get to be in your 60s or 70s thinking your entire life that your dad's just this total deadbeat that walked out on you, only to find out that he was murdered, probably by your mother, because or had some
and then your
involvement.
mom's dead and you can't even find out what happened, and it's like your mom was the only stable person in your life your whole life. She could have been like a totally awesome mom, but like she offed the dad.
No,
Or likely she had to be involved in some way. There's no way that you have a decomposing body in your basement and a husband that's gone missing and you never call the cops and you're married to another person right away. It just seems it's a Vincenzo situation too. You don't have a guy living in your house that you're not like banging, right? Like, it's just weird. Or somebody's banging. Maybe it was
So-
like a throuple thing.
I have no idea, but this entire story is getting detailed on this new HBO doc called The Secrets We Bury. It's coming out next week. So I'm going to definitely watch it because I need more information about this. I just can't accept this at face value.
Yeah. This is like a denial situation.
Oh,
There's
totally.
they think that their mom's like a nice lady, and it's just like,
Yeah, something's way amiss
except
here.
that one lie she told you that one time.
The lie that your dad's murdered and he's buried in the basement, kind of a big deal.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, well, you guys could shop our merch on thedormatershop.com. A discount code is in the description of this episode. Please head over to Apple or Spotify, leave us a review, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you have questions, comments, or stories for us, please submit them to stories@motherknowsdeath.com.
See you guys. Thank you for listening to Mother Knows Death. As a reminder, my training is as a pathologist assistant. I have a master's level education and specialize in anatomy and pathology education. I am not a doctor and I have not diagnosed or treated anyone, dead or alive, without the assistance of a licensed medical doctor. This show, my website, and social media accounts are designed to educate and inform people based on my experience working in pathology so they can make healthier decisions regarding their life and well-being. Always remember that science is changing every day, and the opinions expressed in this episode are based on my knowledge of those subjects at the time of publication. If you are having a medical problem, have a medical question, or are having a medical emergency, please contact your physician or visit an urgent care center, emergency room, or hospital. Please rate, review, and subscribe to Mother Knows Death on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, or anywhere you get podcasts. Thanks.